We begin in Ottawa this morning, this hour, with the latest on the lobster fishing dispute in Nova Scotia. It is an ongoing issue that politically came to a head last night in a House of Commons emergency debate. That debate lasted 5 hours, ending just after midnight, and MPs failed to agree on a path forward. But pressure is mounting on the Trudeau government to take action. On the ground in southwestern Nova Scotia, there are tensions and ongoing disagreements over the Mi'kmaq First Nations exercising of its treaty rights. Brett Ruskin begins the hour. He is in Halifax live once again with the very latest developments there. Good morning, Brett.
Good morning, Heather. Tensions and ongoing disagreements, as you said, are still ripe all around southwestern Nova Scotia, but that might come closer, these two groups, thanks to a new announcement that was made just recently by Minister Bernadette Jordan. She talked about a minister's special representative, an appointee on behalf of herself, as well as Minister Carolyn Bennett, the Minister for Crown and Indigenous Relations. Here's what she said on CBC Radio just a short time ago.
This is a person that we feel can help foster the dialogue between First Nations and commercial harvesters. Right now, these are people who have fished side by side for generations, and what is happening has torn those relationships apart. And we need to make sure that we get to a place where people are listening to each other. So hopefully we'll be able to finalize that very soon, and then those discussions can begin.
She later clarified that very soon means in the next couple of days. So we're not waiting weeks and months for this. This appointee would be available in the next couple of days. We don't know who it is necessarily yet, but the idea of this liaison, someone to work between the commercial fishery and the Mi'kmaq fishery to, bridge the gap and have some dialogue finally between these two groups, was something that was appealing to Sebegin Chief Michael Sack. Here's what he said, speaking on CBC News Network earlier this morning.
Would entertain that in aspects of cooling the temperatures here at around Digby, just to make sure the community is safe. We're not here to dispute anything with anyone. We're here to exercise our right, our constitutional right. And as far as those talks there, Minister Jordan will continue to talk with us on that. But I just want to echo that we're not having anyone from the industry, commercial industry, involved with our government-to-government nationhood talks.
So again, not having anyone interfering with those government-to-government talks from the commercial sector, but, open to having some dialogue on a sidebar with the commercial side. As for those relations right now, keeping things peaceful, down in southwestern Nova Scotia, we've seen a Coast Guard vessel out off the coast to keep things peaceful out on the water. Also more RCMP officers. We've seen at least 20 officers from the RCMP come from Prince Edward Island here to Nova Scotia, some of them specifically trained in kind of conflict resolution and crowd management and de-escalation techniques. So far today, it's been peaceful as far as we know, certainly compared to the last week or so when we saw, violence and aggression and some fires even being set and some damage done. Heather?
One of the issues that comes up time and again, really at the core of this, Brett, is conservation, and the non-Indigenous fishermen are very concerned about the impact of harvesting lobster year-round. Now, where does that issue stand as a point of discussion today?
Yeah, so the conservation issue is kind of the main crux, the main argument that the commercial fishermen have as to why they feel the Mi'kmaq shouldn't be fishing at this time of the year specifically, because they're fishing, quote, out of season. Now, the season is defined by the Government of Canada, by DFO, so First Nations don't need to abide by that at all. They can set their own regulations. But the issue is, according to, again, commercial fishermen, is that the lobster are a little bit softer this time of the year as opposed to the colder time of the year, and that for the benefit of everyone, whether you're Indigenous, non-Indigenous, for the benefit of everyone who relies on the lobster to make their livelihood, it's important to keep that species and that stock thriving. Now, the commercial lobster fishery had a meeting, had a rally yesterday down in Barrington Passage, and we heard from Ruth Innes. She's with the Maritime Fishermen's Union. Here's what she had to say to that rally.
How many people out here want peace in their communities? We need the government to know that we do not condone the violence, the fires, and so on that are going on. And for us to have a peaceful community, we have to take responsibility.
And so again, that was a rally that was held yesterday down in Barrington Passage. As for again today, it looks like things are fairly peaceful, fairly quiet, but again, talks happening behind the scenes and possibly having that liaison, that minister's representative appointed in the next few days.